These stocks are setting up for something big and we need to talk about it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. And do you know what the most scientific piece of furniture is? It's the periodic table because it's got all the elements for a great living room. I'm here to give you an update on Sofi, Rivian, Tesla, Boeing, and FedEx to talk about how each one of them have moved. This is an update video from a video that I made a couple of days ago to put these on your watch list. So hopefully you did at least for one of the stocks so far. And if not, you still have time for the others that are out there. So I'm going to tell you about that. I'll also tell you about my buys and sells, where you can see them. And I'll also tell you about where you can find out about technical analysis and how you can up your trading game. In the meantime, let me put that down and let me bring this up. The first stock that we're going to start off with is Sofi. And yesterday we had a full body of a candle close down below the 200-day. And in the pre-market hours this morning, we are actually still below that 200-day. Today could be that day that I might take that short position out on Sofi, looking for that $7 per share to come out. And their earnings, by the way, as of what we see on here, are the 29th of January. So we want to be on the lookout for that, because that could be something that when those earnings come out, especially if we're expecting profitability, we could see the stock rip back upward. So I think that there could be two different moves going on for Sofi. One could be what we're seeing in the technicals. Another one could be an interruption of those technicals for going short by the earnings that are coming up. I guess you could call that the earnings risk, because really that's still a coin flip unless you have intimate knowledge of the Sofi company. So let's move on from there. Sofi, I'm looking for that short position today. On to Rivian. I tightened up this bottom trend line because of the bounce that we saw yesterday. We found buyers coming in right just above the trend line that I had. So I moved that up, tightened it a little bit. And I think from here, what we're going to have to see if we can break back up the 200 and the 50-day moving averages that are right around here, right around that 1871. So about high 18s, low 19s mark is what we're looking for. We'll see if we get that bounce or if we break it back down through it. In the pre-market hours, we're at 1726, whereas yesterday we closed at 1782. So it is possible. I'm looking to see if we're going to break out the bottom of this symmetric triangle pattern that we have here. If we do, I think that's going to set up that short position as indicated by this beautifully drawn arrow that I have here. And if we should bounce and head back up this way, then we're looking for a breakout the top side, at which point in time I could enter a long position, maybe even a little bit early if we retake the 50 and 200 period moving averages, along with some of the other movements that we'd see, including with the RSI and some of the other exponential moving averages that are kind of crowding up this chart a little bit here. But for me, I'm used to it. I kind of know what I'm looking for there. On to Tesla. Tesla, this is one that actually loosened up the bottom trend line just a little bit to further accommodate what we have here. Right around that 213 level, I have not moved this line. We came down and we touched that. I sold early in the day yesterday. I closed out my short position on that, seeing that we were towards the bottom of the trend line. We were also near a historic support line. And so for Tesla, this is one that I exited that position. I don't know if we're going to get a bounce. Right now, we are up above that support. I also am looking for this right here, that possibly if we start retracing back upward, leading up to earnings, which by the way, the earnings date is on January 24th in the after hours. And if you want to see my stock price prediction and earnings projection, that is available over at the Patreon. That link is down in the description. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Got to watch the 50 and the 200-day. We're down below both of those right now. If we stay down there for long enough, we could initiate a death cross, in which case we could sell off further. So break the bottom trend line, break the support, and then I think that sets up for a short position. If we bounce, we have several different resistances to look through, no less than the 235 that we have, 231, and then also that 50 period that we have in here at about 239. So we're going to be watching for those. So for Tesla, this is a lot like Rivian with that symmetric triangle pattern. Watch for the breakout at the bottom or the top of this thing. So we need to see what the earnings come up. That might interrupt some of the technicals that we have. We're going to need to see if those two technicals are confirmed by the earnings report and push us down through the bottom of this, since that's what we're nearest to right now. I think that's the most worth talking about. That could set up a short position in the day following, so on that Thursday, the 25th. But we're going to have to watch and see as those earnings come out. Like I said, if you want to see that stock price prediction, earnings projection, and a video commentary on that, it's available over at the Patreon. Boeing, yesterday, if you saw my video on this, I said that we're getting close to that 200-day, and man, oh man, this thing actually dropped down to $200 per share before I could even touch it. And so that's exactly what I was looking for. We hit that target, and so that was incredible. Unfortunately, I was not fast enough to take advantage of that drop, but now we need to start looking for that bounce back up. Should we continue to sell under the enormous selling pressure that we have right now? So if we continue to bottom like we did back here, this is our trend line, which means our line in the sand is right around that 185 to 190 level that we're looking for. So should we make it down there, I think that we start to significantly retrace back up from where we're at right now. Our last fib holding out right now from this bottom to this top is right around that 195 level. And then finally for FedEx, what we have here is in the pre-market hours. Let me zoom in on this. Pre-market hours, yesterday we closed below the 200-day, and in the pre-market hours today, we're still below that. So this is a lot like SoFi in that today could be that day that we start to get that confirmation. Two things that I don't like. One is that we're right near this trend line at 242. Another one that we're near 240. But should we see some encroachment on those, should we see a full body candle down below this, maybe then Thursday is that day that we could honestly set up a significant short position for FedEx, watching it break this final, the straw that breaks the camel's back, if you will. So that's what I see for FedEx coming up. So these 5 stocks, all of this is done through technical analysis. And if you want to do technical analysis like I do, learn to benefit in the market like I do, there's a link down in the description for this course. Massive savings if you use the coupon code TRADE trade. Just type in that coupon code after clicking on the link and sign up for that course. You get hours of videos, you get practice testing, lifetime access to the courses in Stockmo Academy, and then also Discord access, which is absolutely huge to see that come in there, because you can go and you can actually talk about the technicals. You can ask your questions. I'm over there. Stockmo's over there. I even have a chapter in this course on options that you could go and check out. And then there's also live teaching sessions. If you want more exhaustive view of options, I have the options course available in my Patreon. That link is also down in the description. And that Patreon is also, I post my buys and sells through the Discord that's available. This is a separate Discord from the one that's over in Stockmo Academy. This is my own private Discord. I post my buys and sells through there. You can see how I am playing the markets. And then you also get my Tesla stock price prediction and earnings projection, and also my NVIDIA stock price prediction and earnings projection. And NVIDIA, just a side note, has been on a tear. People have asked me, is it the time to short? I don't think it's that time yet, but is it the time to go long? It's definitely not the time to go long, not with where it's at right now. We don't know where that turnaround is going to be. I do think that we're near it, but right now we're just not seeing the signs that we're losing steam yet. So we want to watch for the signs of a reversal before we could have any chance at a drop. But even then, we got to be careful because we're trading against the trend. So that means right now that the bulls are in charge. We're well above the 200-day, well above the 50-day. Their earnings are coming in late February. I think they're going to be astounding. And I will be updating this month my spreadsheet that I have, my NVIDIA stock price prediction and earnings projection. I'll have that available over at the Patreon, and I will let you know when that is up and ready to go. The Tesla stock price prediction, earnings projection, it's video, the spreadsheet, it's all over there. It's ready to go. You can go and check it out whenever you want to, whenever you sign up for that Patreon. Links are down in the description. Go ahead and check those out. Be watching these 5 stocks. I don't think that Boeing's work is done in this. SoFi's at an incredible time. FedEx is darn near it. Tesla and Rivian are super interesting right now. And that's exactly why I brought them out here to YouTube, to keep on bringing you guys the ideas and opportunities that I see throughout the market. And I'm going to continue to provide updates as we go along. As always, thank you guys for watching. Get the links down in the description. Get that technical analysis course, and also sign up for that Patreon. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.